I had so many thoughts that made me believe I was the exception to conquering binge eating. And I want to actually take a moment to share the thoughts that I had with you, these not so good thoughts, to be honest with you. They weren't the most positive thoughts on my journey as I conquered binge eating, because you don't have to have the most positive thoughts on your journey. I didn't have the best thoughts on my journey. There were so many times I thought other people can stop binge eating, other people can have a healthy relationship with food, but I'm the exception. I'm different. Maybe I'm broken, and I still conquered. So I want to share the thoughts that I had with you, because if you have any of the same or very similar thoughts as me, don't use that as evidence for why you can't conquer. Use this as evidence for why you still can. Even if you don't have the best thoughts, even if you think that you're the exception, I want to share with you the thoughts that I had to show you that you can absolutely still conquer as well too. So the first thought that made me feel like I was the exception is I had bloating issues. And I thought to myself, well, I can't just eat whatever I want. Like maybe there could be some other people who could eat whatever they want, but I still have to kind of restrict because I can't eat whatever I want. I felt like in 2019, I believe it was the time that I did a food sensitivity test, I literally couldn't eat anything. Basically, I could eat air. Like everything bloated me. Even drinking water made me bloated. And I thought to myself, this is why I can't conquer. I still have to restrict. People will say, oh, lift your food rules, don't restrict. But I'm like, but I can't actually just eat whatever I want like most people, because everything bloats me. I had that thought. This is why it's harder for me. Some people can just go out for ice cream, enjoy their time, but I'm going to be bloated. And the biggest trigger to overeat is often feeling bloated. When you feel bloated, it's like, oh, I feel horrible. Oh, I feel disgusting. Okay, let me just eat more because I already feel gross. So let me just keep on eating. And I used my bloating as a reason for why I thought I couldn't conquer. The second thought that I had was I've always enjoyed eating healthy, and I didn't want to just say F it to my health and be eating like chips and chocolate and cake and brownies all day long. Like I actually cared about my health. And I know for some people, maybe they don't care about their health, but for me, I actually cared about what I put in my body. And yes, growing up, at first it wasn't like this innocent thing of like, I want to live a long life and I want to have energy and it was all rooted in like, you just you need to lose weight and you got to fix your body. You got to change your body. So this is why you have to eat these healthy foods. But I also did enjoy eating healthy. And again, I thought I couldn't heal my relationship with food because I didn't want to say F it to my health. I didn't want to just eat whatever I wanted. I didn't want to be eating chips and chocolate and brownies all day long. And again, that was another thought in my head that made me believe I couldn't conquer binge eating. The next thought, well, I want to look good. I want to look good. So I don't know if I can do this whole healing my relationship with food thing. Like, I actually care about the way that I look. I want to look good. I want to feel good. And so maybe I won't be able to conquer binge eating. Have you had that thought before? I was talking to a client on a coaching call and she's like, I'm not comfortable in my own skin right now. And I said, you don't have to settle for a body that you're not comfortable in. Now, you can't hate your way to a different body. You can't judge your way to a different body. But I truly believe you get to feel really good in your own skin. And it's okay to want to look good there's so much like shame and pressure around that. Like, yeah, you can't make it your entire personality, and you can't, be like, all I care about is the way that I look, because then you're not going to be eating what you're craving, and that's going to create more urges, and then that's going to create more binging, but you get to feel good. But in my head, the thought was, I can't conquer binge eating because I want to look good. The next thought that I had. So my boyfriend at the time was also very much into health and fitness. And this was truly a blessing. If you have a partner who's also into like health and fitness, like it is such a blessing. But when I was trying to heal my relationship with food, I didn't want to be, talking about the gym 24/7. I didn't want to be tracking my food. I didn't want to be known as like the health and fitness person. Like I wanted to really expand my identity. And my boyfriend at the time loved going to the gym and ate super healthy and did meal prep and all those things. And again, blessing, it was incredible. I'm so glad that we had like similar values, but I thought it was more challenging for me because I was still like always consumed by like working out and like fitness and health. Like we went to events together, like fitness seminars together. And again, I had this story that other people can conquer because maybe their partner isn't talking about eating chicken and broccoli, but like, my partner is wanting to eat super healthy. So it's going to be harder for me because I'm always going to be surrounded by working out and nutrition and macros and all these things. The next thought I had. I've struggled with this since I was 14 years old after getting called fat by one of the other dancers. So maybe I'm too far gone. I've struggled with this for way too long. Maybe I would just struggle with food and my body for the rest of my life. Have you ever said that to yourself? Like maybe I'm too far gone. I've struggled with this since I was like 14. Maybe it's just going to be part of my life. Maybe binge eating, thinking about food and obsessing over calories and just like all of this, like me obsessing over the way that I look. And maybe it's just going to be something that I have to struggle with for the rest of my life. Another thought that I had. I can work out no problem. I have it together in so many areas of my life. I feel like I'm motivated and I'm disciplined. Why can't I figure out this whole food thing? This is embarrassing. I felt like, what is wrong with me? Why can I do good in school? I work hard. I have a good job. I have a great relationship, great family life, but like, why the heck and Bob do I have zero control with food? Like, why can't you figure this out? I had so much shame. I felt so embarrassed. Like, how can you literally be in the gym 5 days per week, have no problem working out, and you literally can't control yourself around food? I was embarrassed. I was so full of shame. And again, that made me think that like I can't conquer binge eating because I don't know, I can conquer everything else. I can be put together and I can have so many other of my areas of my life together, but not food. Another thought that I had. I can sometimes manage my weight. I have some good days with food. So like maybe it's not that bad. And at the same time, like nobody knows that I struggle. It's like my dirty little secret. So like nobody really knows. So like maybe it's fine if I just struggle for the rest of my life. Like nobody's gonna know. The only person I really told was my boyfriend at the time, and he had no idea what binge eating is. If you've ever tried to explain binge eating to a husband, to a partner, to a friend, you know that if they haven't gone through it, like they just don't understand. So I was like, well, he doesn't really understand and nobody else really knows. So like, don't know, maybe I'll just live with binge eating for the rest of my life. And like, maybe it's fine. Because again, I can manage my weight. Like I can, there's some days where I feel good with food. There's some weeks I feel good with food. There's some days and weeks and months that I feel good in my body. So like, no one's going to know. Nobody's going to know that I'm struggling. A few more thoughts. I've been dieting my whole life. I have no idea how to eat. My hunger and fullness cues literally feel broken. I was always on some type of diet, whether it was meal plans, tracking macros, 21-day fix, portion containers, intermittent fasting, keto, carb cycling. I literally felt like I did it all. And I didn't know how to eat because I was always on some type of plan. And I remember when I started intuitive eating, I was like, I don't even know how to eat. Like, what do I do? How do I eat? But like, how much? I was so used to weighing, tracking, measuring. Somebody telling me half a cup, somebody telling me 4 ounces. Then when that was wiped away, I was like, I don't know how to eat. My hunger and fullness cues literally felt broken. And so I thought maybe other people can eat normally, but like I can't. I can't hear my cues. I don't know how to eat. The other thought that I had was maybe other people can keep chocolate, sweets, bread, sugar foods in their house, but I can't. I am addicted. The moment that I have something sweet, it all goes down from hill. It goes downhill from here. People would say like, you have to allow yourself to have the trigger foods in order for it to be. Everybody in the comments, I'm 6 years binge free. I'm sharing all the thoughts that I had on my journey so that if anybody else has these thoughts, I'm showing you that you could have these thoughts and still conquer. But I remember thinking like, I can't keep trigger foods in the house because every time I did, like dried mangoes were in my house, they would literally be gone, that entire packet, in like a day. Or my mom would bake chocolate chip cookies and they'd be gone within like 2 days. And I just felt like I had no control around sweets, trigger foods, bread, ice cream, pasta. Rena says exactly what I'm going through. I see you. The other thought that I had was nobody understands what I'm going through. I kind of alluded to this, but I remember telling my boyfriend, and he had no idea, like he didn't understand. He told me like, just text me. Just text me when you feel the urge to binge and like I'll hold you accountable. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. I don't want you to know that I'm binging, and I'm not going to text you because I actually do want to binge, even though I don't, but I do. Like you just don't get it. And I remember my mom wanting to just like so deeply share with me that like I wasn't crazy, and she'd be like, oh, like, sometimes I have an entire bag of chips sometimes. And I'm like, but I don't even do that. I have like a bag of chips and then chocolate and then brownies and then ice cream and then pasta. And then I eat until like I'm like so physically sick. Like, no, I'm not just like overeating. Like, I feel like I'm going through an out of body experience. I don't know how to explain it to you because you're going to look at me like I have 25 million eyeballs on my forehead, but I'm not just eating a bag of chips. Like, I'm not just overeating. Or friends would be like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, you go to the gym. Yeah, but it's not about that. It's the mental battle. It's the mental battle internally inside of your brain that's like, should I be eating this? Am I going to gain weight? Is this good? Is this bad? The judgment, the shame, all of that. How do you explain that to somebody who's never binged? How do you explain that to somebody who's never binged? It's like they just don't get it. And then the last thought that I had that I want to share with you is I feel like I've tried everything. So like I shared with you, I tried intermittent fasting, keto, macros, dietitians, nutritionists, therapy, don't buy the food, buy the food, intuitive eating. I've literally tried everything. And it felt like nothing was going to work, so maybe I was just broken. But I had a really big epiphany moment that all the things that I've basically tried have either been, one, rooted in restriction, or two, the person hasn't actually gone through binge eating themselves. And so the first part of like rooted in restriction, everything that I did, macro tracking, 21-day fixed portion containers, keto, track your food, be on a meal plan, all of that is rooted in restriction, which literally fuels binge eating. So if you have tried all the things and you're like, I've tried so many things, but if it's all rooted in restriction, it's actually making your urges more intense. So it's actually not your fault. You're not broken. It's the approach that you're using. And again, if you are trying to get support from somebody who's never gone through binge eating, you're going to feel crazy. I stepped out of my doctor's office and I literally bawled my eyes out because he told me you're just stressed and depressed. And I was like, well, I actually live a really good life. I mean, sure, maybe everyone's a little bit stressed, but like, you don't get it. Like, I feel like you're just kind of dismissing me because I kind of don't look like a binge eater. And that's, even one of my clients, she said her doctor was like, what are you binging on? Like, you don't look like a binge eater, but binge eating is not a look. It's a feeling. Like, nobody can even know that you're binge eating. Yeah, it's so sad that doctors don't understand this. It's like, you can't just look at somebody and be like, you're fine. Well, you're not with me in the pantry at 9:37 p.m. when everybody's asleep and I feel like I'm entering a black hole. So I am sharing that I had all these thoughts on my journey. It's too hard for you. Other people can conquer. You're different. You're the exception. You are not different. I had those thoughts and I still conquered. I am sharing this with you because even if you have thoughts of like, I am addicted to sugar, I can't control myself, but like other people can have control. My hunger and fullness cues are broken, but I actually care about my health. I can't keep sugar foods in the house. It doesn't matter what thoughts you think. You can still conquer. I am telling you, I had every single thought under the sun, all the reasons why I couldn't do it, bloating issues. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a health coach. I care about how I look. I want to eat healthy. I've been dieting since I was 14 years old. I got called fat, all of these things. And it's really easy for you to believe that you're different, that somehow you're the exception. You're not. You're not. You are not different than anybody else who can conquer. The bloating was crazy. I didn't think I can fix it. Yeah, same here. My bloating was so out of control. And I was talking to one of my clients because she's currently working with me to stop binge eating. And she also has a lot of bloating issues and digestive issues. And she felt so bad. She's like, I feel like I ruined my body. But I said, honestly, stressing over what you're eating and obsessing over what you're eating and the anxiety of, am I eating too much? Did I do good? All of that stress and anxiety and pressure is causing the gut issues. It's causing the bloating. And one of my functional medicine practitioners actually said to me, it actually would be healthier for you to just eat the food than stress about the food. And I was like, okay. I literally had a breakthrough. It's so easy to be like, I can't eat this food. Oh my gosh, am I eating perfectly? Can't eat this. I should eat this. What time? All these things. And it's like the stress is causing gut health issues. The stress is so much worse than just sometimes eating the food. But that's the thing. There's a comment here, but then I eat the food and then I stress out about the eating the food. But that's the work of healing your relationship with food. It's releasing the stress. It's shifting your relationship with that food to know it's literally rewiring your brain. Because right now, let's use chocolate. you've been told chocolate is bad, you shouldn't eat chocolate if you want to lose weight, chocolate has so many calories, chocolate is this, chocolate is that. So anytime you have that food, you associate it with, I'm doing bad, I'm doing wrong, I shouldn't be eating this. That's why, of course, you feel bad. But if you shift your association and create a different relationship with chocolate and say, I'm safe to eat this, and actually, if I allow myself to have some chocolate, I eventually won't feel the need to binge on it and eat like an entire pack of chocolates. That's going to be way healthier. So you have to really reframe it. Yeah, hunger and fullness cues can be literally so out of whack. And a lot of the times when it comes to understanding whether you're full or not, what's really helpful is if you've just finished your meal and you're like, I don't know, am I full? Do I want more food? Create some space. Create some separation. I had a client and she had a shawarma, chicken shawarma, like a sandwich. And she was like, I don't really know if I want to finish the second half. And she just, walked away for like 15 minutes, did a bunch of things around the house. And then she's like, you know what? I actually do want it. So sometimes if you just give yourself some space, that is really supportive because again, you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know if I'm full, but sometimes if the food's in front of you, you'll just eat it. This is why like overeating happens so often at restaurants because the food is just there. Or like social events, you're like talking and you're just eating and you're talking to the people and you're like, I just ate so much. Or at movie theaters, right? When you're watching a movie and like the popcorn's just in front of you and you're like, I just ate so much. And you weren't really hungry, but it's just the food is in front of you. So if you just kind of create a pattern interrupt, a separation, even just like, even just, walking, like just getting away from the food for a minute. And again, it's not restriction. It's just like, I don't know if I'm hungry or if I need more food. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of time. Then you might realize, honestly, I don't want the rest. Or you might realize, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go finish it. But you have to create that separation. I'm in therapy since January for binge eating, but I healed my relationship with my family and not the binge. So I've had a lot of clients come to me that have gone to therapy to work through past things or relationships and all that. But binge eating, unless your therapist has actually gone through binge eating, it's hard to get support. I mean, I went to therapy, I only did 3 sessions, and I felt like she didn't really understand me because I didn't have practical tools. And so you actually need tools of how to stop giving into your urges because binge eating is a habit. The more times you give into your urges, the stronger your urges become. And for everyone here that's like, I want help with binge eating, if you haven't joined my 30-day challenge yet to rewire your brain, I highly recommend you join it. It's $33. I walk you through every single day a tool to help you become less impulsive with food. And I share with you my root and rewire process that will literally help you rewire your brain out of these cycles to make it so much easier for you to stop giving in. Because binge eating is a habit, if you continuously tell yourself one more time, oh, but I deserve it, it's been a long day, I promise, just one last time, your urges become stronger and stronger and stronger and so much harder to not give into. So if you have a process for how to become less impulsive, it's going to be easier for you to not give in. And every time you don't give in to your urges, you're effectively rewiring your brain out of these cycles. So it's $33. You get instant access. There's 5 trainings that you get access to. And for 30 days, a new daily tool to help you become less impulsive with food. People have told me that this has been a 30-day thing, has been more supportive than so many other programs. So if you're going through this, I see you, I've gone through these cycles. I share so many different stories that will really help you to feel less alone. And, just hearing other people as well, going through this, it just really helps you take a deep breath and to know that you are not broken because you're not. The best part about binge eating being a habit is you can rewire it. What's been wired in your brain can be rewired. So you are so supported. You are so not broken. There absolutely is a way out. There absolutely is a way out. I need help. It's a bad compulsion. Yes, the noise is loud all day and night. Yes, I hear you. Again, I felt like I was just going through like these out-of-body experiences, you know? How long did it take you to heal from the moment you started? See, people ask me this question and I never put a timeline on my journey. And I think that's why I'm binge free, because I didn't stress about how long it was going to take me. I just knew I could not track another food item ever again. I didn't want to live in these cycles, like the food noise, the bloating in my own skin. I was like, I have to do something. So in 2019, I said, I'm going to conquer. Like, I'm going to get the proper support. I'm going to conquer. I'm focusing on my relationship with food. And it was like a year plus. But again, like, I've had so many breakthroughs, like even after 1 month of healing my relationship with food, like I was starting to have less food thoughts, and then my hunger and fullness cues started coming back, but to the point where like I could confidently say like I am binge free, it was about a year plus. Yes, we must not give up. Yes. And I love that your handle is we like have faith. Yes, you need faith in this journey. Trust without evidence. You got to trust the process, even if you're not seeing results. Too many people are like, but I'm still having binges. It's not working. And I'm like, but how long have you struggled with this for? It's going to take time. You have to rewire your brain. You have to stay committed. You have to trust the process. So this is a really good thing Gabby said. Even when I don't restrict, I still overeat. So I actually got this comment on my Instagram too. Overeating and binge eating is not just due to restriction. If you're eating, let's say chocolate, you might not be physically restricting, but mentally you are. So you might be like, I shouldn't be eating this. What's wrong with you? You're not gonna be able to lose weight. It's the shame. It's like the mental restriction. And if you are like judging yourself and shaming yourself, you're not even tasting the food, you're not enjoying the food. And if you constantly are telling yourself you shouldn't be eating this, then you feel like you failed, you feel like you messed up, and then you just end up overeating because you're like, well, I'll do better tomorrow. So I got to a point on my journey where I stopped technically like physically restricting, but I was still overeating because I didn't work through the shame and the judgment of like, you know, diets tell you shouldn't be eating this. Protein and vegetables at every meal, don't have the chocolate. So every time I would eat those foods, then I would feel guilty. And then that just made me overeat more. Have you cut completely any trigger foods? No. Avoidance is not freedom. You have to make peace with trigger foods, because if not, trigger foods will always be triggering. That's why it's called trigger food. So for me on my journey, I didn't go, I'm going to share honestly. I tried the whole avoidance method and it just made me think about those foods so much more. And then the moment I would buy protein bars, I would literally have like 5 in a day. So I'm like, that didn't work. But also what didn't work was just I went to the store and I'm like, well, I have to allow myself to have them. So then I went to the store and I literally bought like bagels and all these cookies and all these chocolate and all this processed foods, and then I felt even worse. So there's a happy medium. It's not about avoidance, and it's not about free-for-all. Eat whatever you want because you're not dieting and because you can. You have to find a healthy medium, and I help my clients, like, we start with one trigger food. One trigger food, you eat it at a less triggering time. So a lot of the times people would be like, okay, I'm going to allow myself to have a trigger food. But then you only eat it when you're binging. You only eat it when you're impulsive. Well, of course you're going to overeat because you're already in an impulsive state. Or you're doing it when you're alone. Well, that's already a time where you're binging. So it's better to have that food maybe when you're around other people or during the day when it's actually less triggering for you. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I constantly have people in my ear telling me you should be really eating this, which doesn't help. But this is why customized support is so important, and you know your body. And again, it's not about and this is why you can't just hear information on TikTok or a podcast and then take it on, because you have to have the discernment to be like, wait, that doesn't apply to me in my circumstance. And again, this is why getting coaching and support is so important. I have clients that have gut health issues, and again, they can't eat certain foods. I have clients who really care about their health and they don't want to be eating certain foods. So again, having, that support is really important. And again, I think people have this mindset, and I used to have it, that healing your relationship with food means just eat whatever you want. That's not a healthy relationship with food. That is don't care about your health, eat whatever the heck you want. I'm not about that. It's a healthy relationship with food, which means you still care about your health and you respect your body. You don't treat your body like a trash can. You don't just eat whatever you want. It's you have loving boundaries because you care about yourself. You respect yourself. That's really, really, really important. Okay, we're going to wrap up. Are there any final last questions before I wrap up? I just really wanted to share this with you, and especially at the beginning when I shared all the different thoughts that I had when I was struggling with my relationship with food, because you can have thoughts I'm broken, I'm the exception, I don't think I'll ever be able to conquer, and then you conquer. I literally thought I don't know, I'm different. Other people can do this and I literally can't. But I just trusted the process. As scary as it was, I trusted the process, and I practiced not giving into my urges, and I wasn't willing to give up. And if you are just not willing to give up, you're gonna conquer. You are you are not different. You are not the exception. So, if you are looking for something to get started with, again, the 30-day challenge to rewire your brain to stop binge eating is a really good place to start. It's $33. It's 30-day challenge. You can go through it at your own pace. It's all lifetime access. And I walk you through the entire process of how to stop giving into your urges, how to be less impulsive, how to be able to have chocolate in the house without feeling like you're going to lose control, how to stop eating when you're full. I walk you through my entire root and rewire process that literally I went from tracking every gram of food that I was consuming, out of control, binge eating, obsessing over everything, constant food thoughts, thinking I was broken, to feeling completely neutral around food. Food is not the number one source of joy and pleasure in my life anymore, and I never thought that I would ever get here. Food was my best friend, my enemy, all at the same time, and there's a way out. And I packaged it so that you don't have to think about what do I do? I even share specific tools that will help you to not give into your urges. So I've literally packaged this to be here is a process, 30 days. You don't have to think of what to do. Every single day you have a specific tool to implement, and you'll become less impulsive with food over the next 30 days. So if you want access to that, you can message me Rewire, and you can get instant and lifetime access to that. So thank you, badasses, for being here. I'm rooting so hard for you. You are not broken. You are not the exception. You can absolutely do hard and challenging things like conquer binge eating. So have a beautiful rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see you soon.